So this one here, this is another one which is quite funny. This skate here, it's developed a rattle in the front. So what I'm going to have to do is take off all of the rivets in the front of the skate, open the holder up, get rid of the rattle and re-rivet them. That has to be done before they get heat moulded and sharpened. So here we go.
Hey, all work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. Fuck the comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chillin' in the desert, I'm good under pressure. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we bout. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. Said this a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown on me, wear it proud, fuck what they was talking about. All work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Ay, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Quick to sever, however, whoever. Raining from above, we shooting down through your umbrella. Ay, getting fed up, nothing you could tell us. Snapping every shot I take, just wait till it develops. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we bout. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. Said this a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. That's the crown on me, wear it proud, fuck what they was talking about. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. From the ground with me to the clouds, never coming down. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found. Said this a marathon, not a sprint. You set my soul on fire. Baby, you set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire.
Good evening. It's 19 minutes past 5. I have literally got about 3 minutes to talk to you because I have to run and pick our children up, which I should have done 5 minutes ago. But look, nice big wall full of pretty laces in all colours again. We couldn't get 96 pink because they were out of stock, and we're waiting on these two as well. So look good. We have all the water bottles in. We got tape in, but then it went straight back out the door. So yeah, we're getting there. We're waiting on our CCM. That'll be in next week, hopefully. And figure skate order is due Monday, I think. Maybe Tuesday. So, yeah, getting there. So it's been a very, very busy day. The door has rang off its hinges. Stephen has not made it off the machine. He's still finishing up tonight. And he's got all this to do. So, okay, hundreds to do. We're going to go and we'll see you soon. I am now.
Hello. Still here. Still sharpening. So this one's for Joe Barr. He broke his steel, came in with 3 or 4 different pairs of skates, asked me to do wonders as usual. They're going to need to have some eyelets, maybe some stitching and some rivets, as well as obviously new steels.
And he does have new skates, he just doesn't want to skate in them.
He doesn't like them.
You've managed to wrangle the Cray twins. Well then, we will sign off for this evening. We'll catch you on the next one.
So I know that Pamela's already said bye-bye to you guys. I'm still here, obviously. I'm still working away. That is now 16 minutes past 6. The shop finished about an hour ago, or closed about an hour ago, an hour and 15 minutes ago. I finally managed to get rid of all the customers, and I don't mean that in a bad way in any way, shape or form. I got rid of a lot of stuff today. I managed to do a lot of stuff in not a lot of time. So there was over 30 sharpenings easily today. It was just completely and utterly wild. Every time I done one pair, another 4 or 5 pairs came in. So they're all done and they're all away. One of the jobs that I did was there was a guy had come in, Ian had come in with his skates. He decided that he had had enough of trying to skate in these skates. Now these skates are an XF70. There is nothing the matter with these skates whatsoever. They were just slightly different than his previous model. Now Ian has made the decision that he's going to go back to his old skates and taking the holders and steels off of these. So if anybody needs a pair of skates for rollerblades or inlines or anything like that, give us a message. Apparently these are going relatively cheap. So that's something that we can obviously facilitate if that's something that interests you. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Second thing I'm going to talk about, things I didn't manage to get done today. This pair of skates here, I've spoke about this in the last 2 videos, not the last video at least. These still need to be looked at. Again, I haven't had enough time to actually sit down and properly think about what I'm going to do with them and think of a method to repair them. This part here obviously is going to need to have some new foam because the foam's actually coming away from the skate. It's also going to have some partial new liner put in, and it's probably going to have to be sewn down and across and back up and round with a part that's overlaying over the top. What I actually might do is I might actually burst the stitching just around about here and we'll put a layer of leather under this side and round the other side and wrap it around and make it like a comfort edge, and then put this part back on and sew it all back in place. But again, for that I need time to be able to do the repairs. It looks as if next week's going to be a busy week. I might actually have to come in on Sunday this week and do a wee bit of extra work. Now obviously these gloves here, I never managed to get to these. The Pam is obviously starting to come away from the gusset, so I actually have to try and get them done tomorrow at some point. These are a job for next Thursday, so it's not necessarily imperative that I have them done right this very second. So another job that I have here, bearing in mind, I'll get rid of that in a second. Now this customer had brought these in, and when you see the state of the skates, you'll think to yourself, why are you even bothering? Right, this is a pair of 7000s. Now put it into perspective, 7000s came out when I was 16 years old. I turned 40 just in August. So these are absolutely falling apart. They're burst here, they're creased here, the eyelets have all been replaced, or most of them have been replaced. The skates had to have some stitching done on it as well, round about this area here to try and hold everything in place. Now, the customer is adamant he does not want to move to something different. He moved to a 1X skate, and his 1X skates are immaculate. He managed to find them brand new for like £100, and it's unreal because the skate is immaculate. He got me to convert them to inlines just around about COVID, and then after that he's decided that what he was going to do was he's wanted them converted to ice skates again, so he's got them converted and use them for ice hockey. The problem that we now find is the skate is too stiff because he's so used to such a soft skate. Now when I say soft, you can see that here it's very, very soft. So the softest kind of skate that you're going to get in that, for that kind of skater, is probably a graph. or a very, very bottom end entry level pair of Bowers or CCMs. Now, even if you look at the likes of the XF70s, them ones there, or is that what they are? XF70s, yeah. They're still stiffer than the 7000s from 16 years ago. It shows you how much skates have came on in their time. Now, the reason why he brought me these in the first place is he had a problem with one of the steels. Now, I think he's had about 5 or 6 sets of steels, and what's happened is you see this little part here, there's a bit missing off of here and a bit missing off of here, which means that the actual bolt itself will not hold in the blade into the holder anymore. So he came in with another set of steels and managed to get them cheap somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where, because we couldn't get them anywhere. I think it was just an eBay find. So he came in with a brand new set of steels, and his first complaint was he didn't like the look of the new steels and wanted them profiled or rockered to the same shape as what it was in previously. So as we can see, the steels have been profiled or shaped exactly the way that he wanted them. They've been left with as much steel on them as possible, so that's, he can obviously can still skate. He's now going to be skating slightly taller than what he was previously, because there is a lot more steel there than what he had in the previous skates. Now, worst case scenario, if the steels snap or break, he has another set of holders that he was considering putting on these. So that's his first job that he asked me to do. Second job he asked me to do today was, bear with me a little second, we spoke about this earlier on in the kind of brief intro. I haven't got a chance to do this yet. I also have some steels here that have been brought in for a couple of customers. I forgot to move them away, so they're there anyway. So right, this pair of skates is a 190 skate, right, and he's also got an X3, which is a softer boot. Now, this is the equivalent size to this, but the problem is with this skate here, it's a 272 and this is a 263. So because he wants to have a pair of skates that have interchangeable steels that's a lot easier to change, he's made the decision that he wants to take the holder and steels off of the 190 and put them on the X3s. That then means that these steels have to be profiled exactly the same shape as the spares, which are in the bottom of the bag, so I better keep one of them just in case, because he's coming to pick up his skates tomorrow, another pair. So these steels here, the LS3s, have to be profiled exactly the same shape as these. There's an issue with that straight away for the eagle-eyed viewers or the people that are very receptive. I have just said that these are 272 and these are 263. So what that means is they're only going to be able to be matched at the toe and the heel. The balance point will be completely and utterly different for them, because they're a smaller steel than what he's been skating on. So that is something that I'm now going to have to do. He's asked me to take off these 263s from here and probably put them back onto here, which means that if I take these off and put them on here, that's a single bolt holder, the Lightspeed 2 single bolt, which means I now need to drill a hole in the inside of the footbed to be able to have access to be able to get in to change the bolts if he decides to sell them on, because if I do the work on them and then someone else buys them, they need to be able to get access to the bolt. That's if they obviously want to keep the kind of, if there's any problem with it, or if they want to keep that style of steel and holder on that skate. So he's also brought me in a pair of steels which are not going to be any use for profiling, and what I mean by that is they are the worst steel on the market in my opinion. It is the Took LS Fusion. Now, for most people that have seen the Took LS Fusion, the reason why it's called a Fusion is it's an aluminium top with a stainless steel bottom that's been fused and glued together. The first time I ever skated in these, my very first shift, took a puck off of one of the skates and it broke the steel, and then I went and put a standard stainless steel in and went back on for my next shift with a one fusion steel in one skate and a stainless steel in the other. And the next shift, the next fusions broke as well. So for me, they're the worst steel on the market. Now, luckily they're not on the market anymore. It's the carbon variants that are now on the market. So that's what we've got to do tomorrow. So we're going to have to do all of this work tomorrow, as well as all the standard stuff that comes in tomorrow, all the skate sharpenings and stuff like that. So if you've been also following along with my stick dilemmas, I've been having major issues with sticks and curves and lies and all the kind of different things to do with sticks. So we decided that I'm going to maybe give something different a try, and by chance I managed to get my hands on some TMP1 Sherwoods. So as we can see, they are the full 64-inch length, which is ideal because I'm not exactly the smallest of people, and obviously unfortunately it's not my curve, it's a P26, which is equivalent of a 92 or the equivalent of a W03 in a Warrior. Now, the stick itself is unbelievably light, it's unbelievably responsive. The reason why I know this is because I've already tried it. I tried it a couple of months ago and then put it aside, and then there was one of the boys on my team had a stick emergency and I gave him my stick, which unfortunately the guy was half my height, so he had to cut about 60 quid's worth of the stick off, and obviously there was no point in me getting that stick back at that point due to the fact of the height difference. The major difference was the stick is a 95 flex, and the funny thing is when he cut that much off of it, it went down to about 110, which is no use for him either because he's obviously smaller in stature than I am. But we're going to have a wee work around with these and see how they are. I might actually have to run the blade through the grinder to try and get the lie slightly different, but I'm going to give it a try first and see how they feel. Might be ideal, might not be, but we'll see how we got on with that. We're nowhere near custom sticks at this moment in time just yet. Obviously, like I said to you before, we're trying to keep everything as tight as possible in the store. It's not that we've not got the excess money, it's just the fact that we're trying to be more frugal with what we're bringing into the store and how we spend our money, because you never know how the market's going to go. So I know that Pamela had obviously came back to you guys and showed you a couple of different things. Obviously the tape is now nearly diminished due to the fact of how busy we were today. It was genuinely just restocked. We've got our extras, our bits and pieces wall, and we now have a full accompaniment of laces back in store again, which is ideal, apart from apparently 96 pink, which Pamela had originally said. So for today, that's me going to sign off. I'll be back in tomorrow and we'll see how we do. Afternoon, it's Saturday the 18th of January. It is 12:34, 4 minutes late. We haven't got the shutters up yet, but we're literally just home from Sam's hockey. Or not home, but straight here. We had to go home and pick up my car because they had to take one car to the rink to drop off Sam so he could train, and then we sat and watched him for a little while, and then his auntie Char picked him up today so we could be here in time for the shop opening, and we are still 4 minutes late because Pamela is currently out the back door in the car park with the dogs over here, somewhere behind the car. There we go. So the funny story was that yesterday or the day before we decided that they could really use a haircut. So we used the dog clippers on one dog and then the battery ran out on that. And I decided to use my clippers, the ones that I got through lockdown. And I thought, right, we'll put it to exactly the same guard length, which was a 3. And we have one dog that looks like a rat and the other dog that looks like an actual dog. So it's quite amusing. So we'll give you a update on them later on. But I'm going to get the shutter up and get started now, because obviously there's people waiting outside. So first job of today is I've taken the steels out of these ones at the moment and I've drawn round them, and hopefully you can hear me above the machine. As we can see, this is how much I'm going to have to grind off at the front and how much I've got to grind off at the heel. That's to make sure that the customer has the same feel on our skates. Now obviously I spoke about this yesterday or earlier on in the video, that it's basically going to be a different size of skate and a different size of steel that he's skating in. So it's a 263 and he's used to a 272, so obviously we're going to have to try and make them match as much as possible. So we can only really do enough, which is take a wee bit off the toe, a wee bit off the back, and then try and flatten out the middle as much as possible to give them the balance point of the 272. So that's what we're going to try and do today. So what we're doing just now is we're waiting for the steel to cool down. So what happens is once you're starting to do a bit of grinding, it tends to heat up. So you tend to start finding that it starts to overheat, and then you don't want it to overheat because it becomes brittle. So you do the grinding in installments, little installments. So obviously, as you can see, how much is still got to come off of this one. So we're going to have to do that bit by bit, obviously at the front and the back. So in the meantime, I'm set up for rivet removal.
Maybe I don't have to know your real name. I'm just addicted to the way you take the pain away. Nothing matters when one day I
so we're back on this again, and basically I'm not 100% sure if you guys know or are aware of this, but most of the old skates came with bolts long before the triggers. So what you actually had to do was, is you can see in this one here, there was an access hole with a plug that's been put in it. Now when you are changing them over and you're putting the kind of holders onto a more modern type of skate, they don't come with the access holes. They do have a marker for them just here. So what I've actually had to do was drill out an access hole here, and what I tend to use for that is a wood bit, which is a 19mm wood bit that will basically make the hole.
We're driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal, move to songs we play together, feel like we're on holiday, I got a feeling it's a good day. We're driving downtown, foot pushed on the pedal, move to songs we play together, feel like we're on holiday, I got a feeling it's a good day. To the days down memory lane, back to the times when our life was a breeze, feel the freedom again, my mind was at ease, the sky was so blue when we rolled down the street. So hey, I just wanna touch your vibe, I just wanna touch your vibe, hey, I just want a good time.
Oh, that marathon's completely finished, finally. So like I said, holders off of these onto these, holders off of these onto these, access holes, 2 profiles, and his other pair of skates had a profile and a sharpening as well, and a steel change. So yes, busy day, and yesterday was very busy as well with regards to sharpenings and stuff like that. How's your day been? Would you like to take a shot at this?
Yes, it's been very consistent. No, there's a door. Hold that thought.
Right, so for today that is us finished. Unfortunately we never really got much of the talking done. Most of the stuff is going to be time lapse, so hope you enjoy the time lapses. It just kind of is a little indication of how busy I can actually get at times. Pamela unfortunately never really got much time on the camera this week or last week, or the last video, or this video, due to the fact that she was so busy with dealing with orders and dealing with customers. She was run off her feet, which is why she's absolutely shattered just now. So anyway, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to the gym now and try and see if I can burn off some extra energy, even though I look as if I've got no energy left. But anyway, just quickly before I go, these skates here have been sharpened, these have been sharpened, the steels have been changed over because the steels in this one were too low, so they're now the spare pair, this is the new pair. And this is still to be done, which is the repair in the inside of the skate, and then you've also got the gloves that still need to be done, which I can get them done through the week. If not, maybe I'll come in tomorrow and do some work, because there is still some stuff that I need to get caught up on. Anyway, until then, catch you in the next video.